CRM for B2B is different. A good B2B CRM is built for the salespeople first. And that's despite all my strongly held beliefs about alignment. There is simply no point getting marketing and sales aligned around a CRM if the salespeople won't use the CRM. So we start with a good B2B CRM is going to be designed for salespeople first. Now frankly, the next time I hear somebody say B2B and B2C are the same, I am going to scream. The only people who ever utter such rubbish are consumer marketers who haven't got deep experience in B2B. Now, I know there are similarities, but they are fundamentally different. And a good B2B CRM, therefore, is also fundamentally different. In this week's show, we've researched 5 really good articles on B2B CRM. We're going to extract a synthesis out of those, and then I'm going to offer you 10, that's where the 10 came from, I'm going to offer you 10 conclusions about things that you can actually do based on that analysis. Let me jump first to the conclusions, those 10 steps, so you get the value right up front. Get marketing, sales and operations together. Turn your strategy inside out, that is, build it from the buyer's perspective. Detail the journey that each individual buyer is going to take and work out the velocity that you need to meet quota. Now they're all planning things, I know. So is the next one. Design your ideal process, that is tactics, that you're going to use to move buyers through each of those stages at that velocity. Now we're getting to the CRM. You can't touch the CRM until you've done that. Add recycling tactics to get your lead buyers back in your funnel, and that's where automation is going to come in, and the CRM will play a key role in that. Modify the stages in your CRM to match the buyer's journey and teach your salespeople what each of those stages mean. Build velocity reports in the CRM to measure actual versus planned progression. Build lag and leakage reports, I'll explain those later, and split them by rep or campaign or lead source to gain insights into your funnel effectiveness. And finally, set monthly analysis and review meetings, extracting data from the CRM. Let's take a look at the research that we found, 5 great articles. You're going to enjoy one of them in particular. So our first one is A New Dawn for CRM. This time it's B2B by Robert Angel, who's the president of the Gilbert Group. Thank you for the article. I love his conclusions. Let me jump to those conclusions. 6 principles of understanding customers as individuals. Track their behaviour, analyse high-value customers, know the value of individual customers, differentiate service, measure results, live your customer brand values every day. So those hold true for B2B as well as B2C. What I'm uncomfortable with in an article that purports to be about B2B is that it really talks of B2B companies as selling through intermediaries. And that's a very narrow view of B2B. In fact, I would argue they're not B2B companies. Quick example, a confectionery manufacturer who sells through retailers is not selling B2B. They're selling the B2C, that is to consumers, through a company. But their primary headspace is, how do we make this product attractive for consumers such that retailers want to stock it? That's still a B2C play. B2B is making the shelving or the cash register for that same B2B company, that same retailer. So a manufacturer making a cash register, ultimate consumer of the product is a business. Whereas in the confectionery example, the ultimate consumer is a mum and dad, and therefore I don't think that's B2B at all, with greatest respect. At least that's my view anyway. Next one is, why is CRM for B2B so important? By Dominic Conzella. Fairly short article. It's pretty thin. I think it's been written for SEO and not much else. It's not a huge amount of content, so I'm not going to recommend you go to this one. Take a look at the 3rd article, CRM Switch. Really interesting contrast, let me jump to it, between what is needed for B2C versus B2B CRM. And I think a valid conclusion. Quite enjoyed that conclusion. But therefore, what do you need to do? What do you need to do with your CRM doesn't quite go there, but really provides a good framework, I think, worth a read. Next article is by Jeff Solomon. He's the founder and Senior Vice President
of product and marketing at Leads 360. You'd think they would know a bit about this stuff, and I think they do. Quite a good article, definitely the one that I would recommend reading of all of them if you read only one of them. He offers a good synthesis of B2B versus B2C, and in particular highlighting the factors that really matter. And the main difference is speed of process, number of decision makers, simplicity versus complexity of the buying process, the quantity of leads, the role of emotion, kind of key in B2C, not that important in B2B, the value of the sale, and the uniformity of the offer. They are important foundational understandings of the difference between B2B and B2C. He then contrasts two companies and frankly goes on to some quite useful analysis. Two companies, one is fundamentally B2B, one is fundamentally B2C, and he talks about what they need in their CRM, mindful of those factors. Really good article, and I definitely recommend that you have a read of it. The final one is from our friends at Marketo, and the reason that I'm giving you this one is because it was shared so often. 350 shares on Facebook, 443 on LinkedIn, 357 on Twitter, none on Pinterest, and next to nothing on Google+. Now, apart from the fact that Marketo are doing a really good job with their social strategy, it also suggests generally that you quite enjoyed the article. So why would I not? I'll tell you why I wouldn't. It's a great article. I don't think you've shared it because of its CRM-ness. You've shared it because of its content marketing conversation. Data talks to proven lead generation tactics to jump on now. And they are good tactics. It's all about arguing why content marketing is important. And it is. But frankly, how it's got caught up in a search on B2B CRM, I've got no idea. Apart from great search engine optimization by the guys. But not the one I'm going to recommend. Go back to Jeff Solomon. That's the one I am going to recommend that you read. I referenced quickly in the intro that we did a blog recently for Bullhorn where we were invited to talk about B2B CRM. I'm referring to that one only because I'm going to draw heavily on this in the conclusions, which I'll get to now. Certainly the best of the articles explain really clearly the differences between B2B and B2C, and therefore what the CRM needs to look like for B2B versus B2C. You recall from the analysis that I found one of those articles in particular quite useful. I recently did a blog for Bullhorn. They're a CRM vendor who have a very strong presence in the recruitment industry. And it forced me to synthesize and crystallize my own thinking about the steps towards building a great B2B CRM. So I'm going to draw heavily on those today. Let me share them with you now. I argued in that Bullhorn article that B2B CRM is about process tracking as much as it is about automation, not just data management. And that requires some strategy and planning, not just good implementation. So my first of these steps are absolutely about getting the thinking right. Get marketing, sales and operations together, that's critical. Turn your strategy inside out, and by that I mean build the strategy from the buyer's perspective. What problem do they have, who most has that problem, and what best solves the problem. That's a buyer-centric strategy, rather than what are we going to sell to whom. Detail the buyer's journey, that is the journey that each individual buyer will take towards that problem and its solution. Work out the velocity, that is how many buyers need to move through their own journey for you to meet quota. Design your ideal process, and that's obviously a reflection of tactics, to move buyers through each stage at the agreed velocity. Add recycling tactics, and these are tactics that you're going to use for those buyers who've leaked from the funnel to get them back into the funnel. Now we're moving into the implementation of CRM. Modify the stages in your CRM, and by the way, in your marketing automation as well, to match the buyer's journey as opposed to the seller's process. And teach your salespeople what those buyer journey stages mean. Build velocity reports to measure the actual velocity compared to what was supposed to occur, the planned progression. Build lag, that is time, how long does it take to move a buyer through each stage, and leakage reports, which is how often do we fail, and split them by salesperson, by campaign, by lead source to gain insights into the effectiveness of your funnel, and set monthly analysis and review meetings. You'll see more of that article at, in fact, let me put the link in the show notes. But just a real quick thing on bringing those insights in, and this is a quick plug. You may already know about Funnel Planner. It's the tool that we use for building sales and marketing plans. It's not been a DIY tool. It's going to be from 2016 onwards a DIY tool, and we're really excited about that.
One thing that customers have asked us to do is to bring measurement into that. So one thing that we're doing along these lines is to bring the CRM measurement into the funnel plan. So you can open up your funnel plan, take a look at what's supposed to occur, and then look at data pulled directly out of the CRM and compared to what was supposed to happen, what's actually happening. You'll see some of that come up in funnel plan if you're an existing funnel plan user. More coming in later blogs. I'll share with you how you can get a free copy of funnel plan. But we feel that measurement is as important as planning, and so we're building the measurement piece into the funnel plan software. Well, that's it for this week's blog. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. If you haven't already, can I invite you to subscribe at mathmarketing.com/blog or at youtube.com/mathmarketing, your choice. Subscribing means that you're the first to hear about these blogs as they come out each week. If you have already, thank you. I hope you're getting value from them. And can I ask you to share that with a colleague? You helping us in that way means that we can get the message out to lots more, and I'd be really grateful if you would do that by sharing either today's article or either of those two links. Finally, if you've done both of those and you'd like us to cover a topic that I haven't already, let me know. Go to funnelvision@mathmarketing.com, send us an email, tell us a topic that you would like to see covered, and I'll be only too pleased to give some great suggestions. And I'd really love to hear what you'd like to have covered. Well, again, that's it. Lots more coming next week. Until then, may your funnel be full and always flowing. Our thanks this week to Rhiannon Rack for research, interned with us for a quarter. You did great work, thanks Rhiannon. Robert Angel for Ivy Business Journal, Dominic Condoziella from Ipster, David Young for CRM Switch, Jeff Solomon, you're the hero today, you're the article I most enjoyed for CRM Buyer, thank you, and Sesame Mish on the Marketo blog. Thanks also to Bullhorn for inviting my blog up a few weeks ago where we posted some great CRM goodies. If you go to mathmarketing.com/blog, you'll find those goodies, or I'll include the link right here of the blog itself. Ultimately, you can lead to those same goodies. Jason Thea for amazing production. Thanks, Jason. I'm Hugh McFarlane, and it was my pleasure to script and present today's show, and thank you to Rev for transcription.